السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر
الله
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي فضل الإسلام على سائر الأديان وفضل أمة الإسلام على سائر الأمم وفضل محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم على الخلق أجمعين. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له قيوم السماوات والأراضين بعث نبيه محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم رحمة للعالمين. وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم عبد الله ورسوله أفضل الأمانة ونصح للأمة وجاهد لله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. فسبحانك اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. عباد الله، أوصي نفسي وإياكم بتقوى الله عز وجل وبعدم إصيانه، فلقد قال لي ولكم تلك الدار الآخرة نجعلها للذين لا يريدون علوا في الأرض ولا فسادا ولا عاقبة للمتقين. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we thank the Almighty Allah for an opportunity to be here. We thank Him for His mercies that He's bestowed upon us. We bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except the Almighty Allah alone. And we bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His servant and His messenger. Whosoever the Almighty Allah guides is really guided. And anybody who goes astray has nobody to blame but themselves. Today is a Friday, the 21st day of Rabiul Awwal, 1445 years after the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which I believe corresponds with the 6th day of October 2023. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. My fathers and my shayukh, sent an invitation for me to come to the masjid to share the little that I have with you. Not because I'm a sheikh or someone who is knowledgeable, but just as a student of knowledge who reads, takes notes, and then from time to time shares what he understands from the Quran and the Sunnah. May the Almighty Allah safeguard us. Just before I came onto the bimbar, one of the brothers here told me that his daughter has been in coma for the past week. We ask the Almighty Allah to grant her health. We ask the Almighty Allah to grant him patience and the reward of patience. And every other Muslim that is battling one issue or the other, we ask the Almighty Allah to open his doors of mercy for us. When you observe the dunya now, you realize that the more advanced the dunya is, the more problematic and catastrophic the issues that human beings face. What do I mean by this? 100 years ago, we didn't have all this technology that makes life easy for us. We didn't have all these fast-moving cars. We didn't have all these forms of electricity and all these gadgets that we're using. Fast forward today, we have all these things, but then the levels of anxiety and depression and heartache is always shooting up. Technology is supposed to make life easy for us, but in reality, is life easy for us? When you observe the life that we are living now, as compared to the life that our fathers and our grandfathers lived decades ago, between us and them, who do you think has peace of mind in his day-to-day activity? It means there is a problem somewhere. Because nowadays, you look at the average human being moving around, and the person has mental issues. Because he's walking alone on the street and then he's talking to himself. The bills are high. The wife is giving him issues in the house. The kids don't want to go to madrasa. He is on the pending list to be fired at the job place. So things are mounting upon him and then he doesn't know the way out. And mind you, the Almighty Allah had told us about this in the Quran. When you go to Surah Taha verse 112, when Almighty Allah was speaking to Adam, he said, Ya Adam, inna hadha aduwwun laka wa li zawjik, fala yukhrijannakuma min al-jannati fatashqa. Inna laka alla tajua fiha wa la ta'ra wa annaka la tadhma wa la tadha. The Almighty Allah made it plainly clear to Adam. Adam, when you leave the Jannah, if you let shaitan to kick you out of Jannah, when you come to the earth in this dunya, understand four things. In Jannah, there is no thirst. There is no hunger. There is no nakedness. And then you always have a shelter. So the Almighty Allah made it pretty clear to Adam that in the dunya, you're going to face four things. Hunger, thirst, nakedness, and shelter. So these are the four basic needs of a human being. These four things, the Almighty Allah made it pretty clear. But then the problem of the day is that we have made these things the pivot of our lives, forgetting the main essence why we are here in the dunya. So because we've made this the essence and the pivot of our lives, we are always in heartache, we are always in pain, our anxiety levels are high, because the dunya is what we've put in front of us. But then we forget that the Almighty Allah tells us in Surah Al-Dhariyat, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُم مِّن رِزْقٍ وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَن يُطْعِمُونَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الرَّزَّاقُ ذُو الْقُوَّةِ الْمَتِينَ. The essence of our coming to this dunya is that we worship the Almighty Allah. And these things that I've enumerated become secondary for us. When we worship the Almighty Allah, these things become easy for us. When we make Allah first in our day-in, day activities, the dunya becomes easy and welcoming to us. Man asbaha wa akbaru hammihi fi dunya hiya dunya ja'ala Allahu al-faqra bayna 'aynayhi wa shattata 'alayhi shamla wa la ya'tihi min ad-dunya illa ma qaddara la. Anybody who has made the dunya his main purpose in this dunya, searching the dunya. Don't get me wrong, brothers. I'm not saying don't go get a job. I'm not saying don't build a luxurious home. I'm not saying don't buy a luxurious car. But then don't make that the priority of your life. Don't make that your priority. If you see the cars that were built in the 90s, today they are at the junkyard. So imagine someone who killed himself to get a car in the 90s, and then these times he comes and then he sees the Teslas, he sees the Lamborghinis, and then he sees the Ferraris. How do you think he will feel? He's wasted his time. So don't make the dunya your number one priority. And that is the problem. We are all chasing the dunya. All of us is chasing the dunya. We all want the money. We all want beautiful homes. We want beautiful cars. We want beautiful things. It is not haram for us to want those beautiful things. But then the problem is that, are they our priorities in the dunya? No, they shouldn't be. So this is why we don't have peace of mind. This is why at night we can't sleep. Because at night when you are sleeping, you just wake up. Hey, it's the beginning of the month. I have some bills to pay. Hey, you wake up at night. You are half asleep, half awake. Sometimes you talk in the sleep and your wife wakes you up. Hey, what's going on? You are like, you know those stuff. Yes, we all go through that. If the dunya is our number one priority, the Almighty Allah will make poverty to be in our eyes like this, meaning we will never be content with what we have. If I'm always concerned about the dunya, I'm concerned about getting the latest car. So whatever means I will pass through to get that car, whether halal or haram, I don't care. When we compare each other based on the dunya, you are living in a $500,000 condo and I'm renting. I'm always at ache. My heart is paining. My heart is at ache because I want to live in that 500K house that you are living in. But I don't know the kind of job you're doing to earn the money to buy that house. So in the end, I stress myself. In the end, I end up doing multiple shifts, multiple jobs. I bring haram and halal. I put everything in there because I must live in that $500,000 house. And you never know. The day you close that house, that's the day we bury you. Yes. النفس تبكي على الدنيا وقد علمت أن السلامة فيها ترك ما فيها. لا دار للمرء بعد الموت يسكنها إلا التي كان قبل الموت يبنيها. فإن بناها بخير طاب مسكنه وإن بناها بشر خاب بانيها. أين الملوك التي كانت مسلطلة حتى سقاها بكأس الموت ساقيها. أموالنا لذوي الميراث نجمعها ودورنا لخراب الدهر نبنيها. لا تركنن إلى الدنيا وما فيها فالموت لا شك يفنينا ويفنيها. فاعمل لدار غد رضوان خازنها والجار أحمد والرحمن ناشيها. قصورها ذهب والمسك طينتها والزعفران حشيش نابت فيها. النفس تبكي على الدنيا. All of us are crying over the dunya. وقد علمت أن السلامة فيها ترك ما فيها. All of us know that the peace of mind that we are going to get in this dunya is we're going to leave the dunya. You will go. Understand it. Whether you like it or not, you are going to depart. And don't be surprised. Right on this member, on this Friday, I just fall down. Someone else continues the Jumu'ah and then you bury me after Asr. It could happen. None of us is guaranteed Salatul Jumu'ah. None. If you think you are guaranteed Salatul Jumu'ah today, raise your hands and let's see you. Nobody is guaranteed that. And then liman hasad even. Why the envy? Why the jealousy? If dunya itself is not guaranteed, why do we have sleepless nights over the dunya? We all know that we will depart, we will leave. لا دار للمرء بعد الموت يسكنها إلا التي كان قبل الموت يبنيها. None of us have a home to sleep in tomorrow except the homes that we built in the dunya before we go to the akhirah. What kind of investment have we made for the akhirah that we are disturbed in this dunya? That you didn't get that house, or you didn't get that car, or you didn't get that loan, or you didn't get that business. You feel the pain, you ache, you even come to salah, the imam says, Wala Bali, instead of Ami, you say Salaam Alaikum. because your mind is all messed up. The Almighty Allah says, subhanallah, the statement goes, if the dunya is our main issue, جعل الله الفقر في عينيه. You will never be content with what you have. You will always be looking at what other people have. That is when you get heartache. That is when your blood pressure goes up. That is when you get all these diseases. Because you are concerned with what other people have. ولا تمدين عينيك إلى ما متعنا به أزواجا منهم زهرة الحياة الدنيا لنفتنهم فيه ورزق ربك خير وأبقى. Do not peep looking at what other people have in this dunya. Do not peep. Do not be concerned with what the people, the Almighty Allah has given other people in the dunya. The Almighty Allah said, Zahratul Hayatul Dunya. It is just a glittering of the dunya. Linaftinahum fi. It's also a test for them. You know very well, some of these celebrities and all these stars, almost every year you hear one of them has committed suicide. They live in $1 million mansions. They ride all these luxurious cars. They have all these private jets. But then they don't enjoy life. The sweetness of life, they don't get it. Do you know why? The discipline that Iman brings in the life of a Muslim is invaluable. And that's the secret. That a Muslim must understand this. That the discipline of Iman, where you understand قُلْ لَنْ يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا, where you understand وَعِنْدَهُ مَفَاتِحُ الْغَيْبِ لَا يَعْلَمُهَا إِلَّا هُ وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ وَمَا تَسْقُطُ مِنْ وَرَقَةٍ إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا وَلَا حَبَّةٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْأَرْضِ وَلَا رَطْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. Iman lets you understand that this dunya is run by the Almighty Allah, and nobody else has power in anything whatsoever. So my message to us today, peace of mind in the dunya, its bedrock is your Iman and your relationship with the Almighty Allah. If you build your life on Iman, if you build your life with closeness to the Almighty Allah, every other thing falls into place. أقول ما تسمعون أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. أما بعد. We're speaking about the challenges that we face in the dunya today, and then with all the technology that we have, the levels of anxiety and depression are always going up. But then what's the way out? The way out, number one, is for us to have a reconciliation with Almighty Allah. All of us, all of us. Sometimes some people feel when they say tawbah, tawbah is for the ones who commit sins. The Almighty Allah says in Surah An-Nur, وَتُوبُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا أَيُّهَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Tawbah is for the believer. Tawbah is for the one who is close to the Almighty Allah. So our relationship and our reconciliation with the Almighty Allah is very, very important. It's not only enough for us to say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with our lips. No, it's action based. The deen is action based. So we don't say we believe in the Almighty Allah with our lips, but then our hearts and the rest of the body is not in consonance with what we believe in. Imam Bukhari in Adab al-Mufrad and Imam al-Tirmidhi in his Sunan narrate a hadith for us, where Imam al-Albani considered that hadith Hasan, even though there are other scholars that consider the hadith as da'if because of irsal in the sanad. He says, Man asbaha minkum aminan fi sirbi, mu'afan fi jasadi, lahu qutu yawmi, faka'annama hizat lahu dunya bihadhafiriha. Man asbaha minkum aminan fi sirbi. Whoever wakes up in the morning and has peace in his soul. Peace here could mean a lot of things. Peace in your iman, your relationship with the Almighty Allah. Peace in your family, your wife and your kids. Peace in your business, in your day-in-day activities. You are not concerned with what other people have in the dunya. You don't run helter-skelter trying to amass the dunya at the detriment of your own health and then the atmosphere in your home. من أصبح منكم آمنا في سربي معافا في جسدي. You are of good health. You know, sometimes some people, we think that wealth is what you have in your pocket. Is one of the things that can be considered as wealth. Some few weeks ago, I went to the University of Penn emergency, and a man was brought in on a bed, and I could count at least 5 doctors around him. And there was a separate bed that had the machines that he was on as life support, different machines, and about 6 or 7 other nurses. I counted at least 10 people, medical officers, who were pushing his bed to take him to his room. I didn't know when I did sujood for the Almighty Allah in that emergency room. We take health for granted. And that's the problem. Until we find ourselves in the emergency ward, that is when, Subhanallah, La ilaha illallah, Astaghfirullah. That's only when we know the Almighty Allah. Mu'afan fi jasadi. Wallahi, if you want to really understand the ni'mah of health, some people are in the emergency ward, they have millions that you can only dream of, but then their food is put through a tube. The tube has been put through their jugular veins into their bellies. That's how they eat. Some people have tubes, with all due respect, Azzakumullah. That is how they pass urine. But then, Anta mu'afan fi jasadik. You have health. The Prophet Muhammad said, Lahu qutu yawmi. You have access to your daily meal. Three things: peace, health, and your daily meal. These 3 things, the Prophet Muhammad said, if you have these things, فَكَأَنَّمَا حِيزَتْ لَهُ الدُّنْيَا بِحَذَافِيرِهَا. It's as if the whole dunya and her goodies have been gathered and given it to you as a gift. My brothers and sisters, if we want peace of mind, number 1, let's strengthen our relationship with the Almighty Allah. Number 2, let's be content with what we have. Al-qana'a. هي القناعة فاحفظها تكن ملكا لو لم تكن لك إلا راحة البدن فانظر إلى من ملك الدنيا بعجميها هل راح منها بغير القطن والكفن. Contentment is the best gift anybody could be given. فانظر إلى من ملك الدنيا بعجميها. Observe the ones who have amassed the dunya, all the monies that they have. هل راح منها بغير القطن والكفن. When they're going to the akhirah, apart from the shroud and the cotton wool we put in their noses and their ears, tell me what they went to the akhirah with. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إنك جامع الناس اليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله. Can we do this?